Back in 1993, when probably most of you weren't alive, Doom was released.
And was a first-person action game where you play as a space marine and go absolutely ham on demons from hell, and that was really about it. The game was really simple, the weapons were minimal, you couldn't look up and down, only left and right, and the game wasn't even exactly 3D. It was more like 2.5D as all the enemies and sprites would rotate on an angle that you moved at. The game was about 5 hours in length and absolutely blew up as at its release, up to 20 million people played it in the first 2 years of its release. They went on to release Doom 2, which, you know, was pretty much the exact same game, and then they dropped Doom 3, which is a much more slower paced Doom game. Doom 3 kind of twisted the franchise into more of a survival horror game, which was great. It was still a great game that actually had great success as well, but it isn't exactly what Doom is supposed to be, in my opinion. Every other Doom game is like horror, but you're the horror. The demons fear you, and you is what is feared. But in Doom 3, the horror is the demons, not you, which, you know, is probably how it's supposed to be, but that isn't what Doom is known for in the first 2 installments of the franchise. And then they were going to make Doom 4, but it got cancelled, so that was pretty much the end of Doom. They also did drop some other games here and there, like Doom 64 and Final Doom and stuff. Anyways, everyone thought it was the end of Doom after 2012, when they released Doom 3 BFG edition. BFG meaning big fucking gun. But anyways, everyone thought that was the end. But do not fret and do not stress. In 2014, a massive announcement was dropped and a new game was on the horizon, named Doom. But wait, wasn't that shit already released? Hell no. This game is a reboot of the series you will love. Yeah, so a reboot is defined as boots or be booted again, and bro, this shit was booted again, and it was booted again good. Way more killing and way more action. Another instant success with over 2 million copies sold by 2017, but that's not what we're talking about here. This took Doom back to its roots, how Doom is supposed to be. You're an OP space marine, just like in the 1993 version, going absolutely ham on demons from hell once again. We got some of the enemies reimagined back to the game, like the stupid ass imps. They still throw shit at you. The normal shotgun guy and the Hell Knight looking guy, just to name a few. Some shit was added as well, and not just stupid shit to add dumbass content, like some useful, relevant new ideas. Like some finishing moves called glory kills, which just feels so good doing, especially if you're just kicking someone off the map. Pretty much the exact same weapons from the 1993 versions were made available in the reboot, and it was literally just like such a good fucking game. It was so successful that they even made a sequel to it called Doom Eternal. I haven't played it, but I'm sure it's fire as hell, so Doom is like a perfect example for a reboot. A really shit.
We played a Native American that gets abducted by aliens that has to, I figure there's room for one more, right? Yeah, why not? There's gotta be room for another one.
Prey 2006 is a game you may not have heard of, but you've probably heard of this game called Prey. But did you know Prey, released in 2017, is actually a reboot of a game of the same name released in 2006? Well, kind of. Hear me out. Prey, the original one, was released in 2006, and you literally play as a Native American using literal portal technology to fight off enemies in a spaceship you got kidnapped in, pretty much. To be honest, for a 2006 game, the mechanics were way ahead of its time. And the graphics as well, but honestly, what do I know? I was born 1 year before the game was released. Either way, this game got a ton of love. It sold more than 1 million copies in its first 2 months of the game's release, and it was so successful that the game was on track to release a sequel, Prey 2, but they cancelled it in 2014 due to the game not being up to the quality standards they wanted it to be. I mean, fair enough, but people were not happy. People wanted to see the original Prey game turn into a franchise, and that just did not happen. But fret not, Prey was on the horizon. Advertised as a reboot of the game everyone loved, people were hyped. Was this a game they deserved? Was this a game everyone was waiting for? No, not at all. Prey 2006 was rebooted in 2017, made by Arcane Studios, you know, the guys that made Redfall. People were upset because this was a reboot of the game, but it's a whole different game. The only similarities is that it's set in space, pretty much. Once they announced it isn't a sequel or really has anything to do with the original Prey game, people were hella upset as it was pretty much just a game with the same name. Game was actually alright though. I find it pretty interesting, and I had a lot of fun in it. A lot less action than the original, and a pretty long game, and I didn't finish it or this video would be released in a month's time. And the exact same thing happened as in the first Prey game, as they were going to make a sequel to Prey 2017, but cancelled it for this load of shit game called Redfall. Man, what the fuck? So that never happened. And that was the end of Prey altogether. Good reboot or not, I really have no idea, to be honest. Keep it coming, Arcane. Hopefully your next game isn't a flop. This is gonna sound strange, but SimCity 4 was an absolute banging city builder game, and I love city building games, okay? So I know when it's a good city builder. Now, a lot of you guys are gonna disagree with what I'm about to say, but SimCity 2013 was not a bad reboot of SimCity. I'm sorry, but it's what I think. And I make a lot of controversial opinions on things. Can we please forget about this one? In SimCity 4, I had to go through this tutorial, which I'm not really a fan of how they split into like 4 different tutorials, but you know, whatever, rolled back in 2004 or whenever this game was released. And then I actually got to start on my city. And let me tell you fellas, it went insane. Check this out. We got the Brentos city marked into stone. It was time to start some construction. I painted over my first town zone. Then right around the corner, I set up a commercial zone or something for stores and stuff. And then did the exact same thing with the industrial zone on the other side. The town is coming together. Then I got some random dude just yelling at me, telling me to turn on the power. So I did just that. Power up fellas, we are moving. Then I constructed some some roads to connect these 3 places, and then I drove a car around for fun, but then I realized I'm literally the mayor, so I had to get a move on and get the fuck out of this car. And boom, check out my city. We are making some real progress. The city needed expanding, so expanding we did. New towns, a useless farm that didn't do anything, and new power lines collecting it all. The same dude came back and screamed at me again about the same fucking issue, the power, so I placed some power plants around. The industrial zone was expanding further, and so were the towns. Once again, the Brentos city is rising. I then got a really important message on my screen offering a mayor's house for me. I accepted, and my influence was placed onto the town. Boom! Yeah. Be fucking proud of me, fellas. They cheered. The people cheered, and we continued on. New roads were constructed, and someone wanted to build a casino, wanted me to take him on a drive to where he plans on constructing the casino. The casino was never made. Instead, I got a massive thundercloud that sat there for hours. The town district almost about tripled, and more people were entering Brentos City. House of worship? Fuck out of here. All the new people were jobless, and they were demanding cash flow, so I furthered into action. A whole new industrial zone was implemented to decrease the jobless people in my city, and this place literally never grew. These people do not want jobs, they just love complaining. I even expanded the job district more. Still, no one had wanted to work, so stop fucking complaining. Water pipes were installed, police stations were crafted around the town, fire stations were implemented, and money was becoming a problem. Me being the literal owner of the town and greedy for some C hash, taxes were risen. Only by 1%, I am kind. I don't know why I did this, but I made more houses. I literally had no reason for this, so I don't know why I did it. And another shopping district was made. The people were not taking their clearly available jobs, and becoming a mayor was a problem, so I resigned. Fucked off the town and hopped onto the rebooted version, SimCity 2013. I much prefer the tutorial in SimCity 2013 than SimCity 4 and whatnot. I like the idea of the tutorial all being in one city and not 4 different ones or whatever. But what I literally hate about this game, and I don't know if people agree with this, but borrowing shit from other cities is such a bullshit idea in my opinion. I know you don't have to do this to make a successful city, but even them adding them just like pissed me off. The whole tutorial, if the city had a problem to be fixed, instead of fixing it in your own city, like placing a water pump or whatever, they don't even teach you that. They're just like, yo, buy it from this guy over here and it'll sort us out. So stupid, but whatever. Anyways, I started my city in Edgewater Bay and named the region Brentos City Rebooted. I claimed a little spot, and after an excruciating 5 minutes of ads, I was in the game. Let's run this. The place was looking clean, and on a serious note, I really liked the nature, and this place was literally perfect. It made my game so much more enjoyable. If I chose anywhere else, I do not think I would have actually had fun. I built the starting road and placed some residential zones to get our first residents in. The future is an exciting tale. Quickly, I expanded and placed a shopping district. The absence of power in the city was a problem to quickly arise, and was just dealt with as quickly. Professional mayor right here. No water was also a problem that I fixed very early on. Also, competition of food franchises arrived swiftly, as I had about every single junk food joint on one street. Good luck, guys. The main road was expanded, and an industrial zone was constructed for some important jobs. More streets, houses, and shops were made. The industrial zone was expanded more, and so the towns were once again. I actually made an entire town district. Everyone has neighbors. The industrial district was expanded for more job opportunities, and my town was looking absolutely splendid. I also then made a massive highway onto this mountain here. I literally never use this. I saved up some money and did the exact same thing on this hill, but I actually had a reason for this one, an exciting reason. Dirt roads were placed on purpose, not because I was poor. I wanted to feel primitive in my area. My house was placed, my mayor's house, except there was no line of people cheering me on for this time. People are ungrateful for what I sacrificed for them. People kept on complaining to me about not building skyscrapers, like, oh my god, this is supposed to be a small town. Take Forks for an example. The residential district was expanding further, and so was the shopping district. And I assumed the bagel store was outperforming the other food stores, as they have opened another one on the same street. People asking for a hospital to care for their injuries. I responded with making them more shopping districts. I must keep my people distracted from what benefits them. I am president after all. I need to keep it realistic. More houses were built, like a lot, and then I made this really shitty expansion to the industrial district, but whatever makes money, I guess. I then literally made half of this whole town more houses to enforce overcrowding, just like in real life. Fire was spreading in the shopping district, and with my mayor skills being tested to its limits, I got overwhelmed. I placed a fire station, resigned as mayor, and let them fend for themselves. Yo, thank you for watching this video. It was kind of a throwaway since I got bored of this video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Adios.